On Monday, Governor Bill Richardson announced new, tougher proposals to fight drunk driving. And joining us this morning to talk about the plan is New Mexico's DWI Czar, Rachel O'Connor. Rachel, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Of course, you work for the governor, but your impressions of what this plan could mean for New Mexico?
Well, I think it means stronger penalties. I think it means closing loopholes. Obviously, it's an aggressive package that we think will make a difference in New Mexico.
All right, well, let's talk about maybe the headline of all this is mandatory jail time for a first-time drunk driver offender. Is that needed? Do you think that goes too far, or is that reasonable?
I think it's totally reasonable, and the reason why is that about 70% of our alcohol-involved fatalities in New Mexico continue to be from first-time offenders. We don't think about it that way, but the first-time offenders are the most dangerous drunk drivers on the road, those that have never been arrested. And we think if we toughen the front end, we'll help prevent that, as well as helping reduce recidivism by really cracking down the first time somebody's arrested.
And it's not just the first time. A second offense gets an increased penalty, a third-time offense, and so on with jail time.
That's correct.
Okay, and also there'll be an increase in the fine up to $2,500 for that first offense. And I know the governor's trying to close some loopholes in current law. Tell us about that.
Well, the proposal actually has two loopholes, and they've come out of what we've seen in MAD's court monitoring report. The first is that we're going to disallow electronic monitoring in lieu of mandatory jail time. I think the legislature has already spoken on this issue. They have stated that there are mandatory minimums in New Mexico. We're seeing widespread use of electronic monitoring in lieu of those mandatory jail times, and we think really that jail time is appropriate for especially repeat DWI offenders. The second loophole that we're closing is looking down at the pleading down to careless driving of offenses where the defendant refuses to provide either a breath or blood sample. That's a loophole. Again, it's already illegal to plea down if you blow over an 08 in New Mexico. Some prosecutors and judges are getting around it by allowing those who refuse to plea down to careless.
And of course this has to go through the state legislature, and some believe it's going to be a tough sell. What's your impression of how this will go over?
Well, certainly the legislature's been good to us on DWI issues in the past. We're going to put up a tough fight. I think that the argument for increased penalties on the front end has a lot of power behind it. Certainly at the community level, people want to see this behavior stopped the first time someone is caught. And I think the other sell is that, you know, we've had continuous reductions over the past 4 years. We're seeing, again, a reduction in fatalities this year. We're hoping that something like this will impact our fatality rates again by providing deterrence for those who are out there driving drunk.
Very good. Well, Rachel O'Connor, DWI Czar for New Mexico, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.